So it's called dyadic developmental psychotherapy, and it was developed by Dr. Daniel Hughes, who's a psychologist who works with kids who have endured abuse and neglect, were in the foster care system, orphanages, and just realized that there's a really different way that you have to work with these kids. And so he developed this, and then it's taken off to lots of different countries in the world. And what it is to be able to look at a child and sit with a child and talk to a child in a way that really resonates where they're at that moment. So a lot of times kids they have a lot of energy, or they're very distressed about something and they're acting out, or they have a lot of things on their mind, and so they're acting really chaotic or talking really chaotic. And DDP tries to match the child's experience by showing the child through our body language and through our tone of voice and through our eye contact that we really get them. So as you can see by my body language right now, if a kid is really worked up, I'm going to show them that I really get them by matching what they are, how they're vibrating inside. We call it vitality affect. So there's a basic structure to DDP about how to communicate that is the acronym PACE, which stands for playful, accepting, curious, and empathic, and it spells PACE. So when we talk about a paceful attitude, what it means is that we're going to try to be lighthearted at times, so playful, that whatever the child is going to say to us, including things that are really shocking or things that might be kind of offensive to us, we're going to make it so that we are accepting the feeling underneath. The curiosity is wondering with them aloud what is underneath their feelings. I wonder why you feel that way, and giving them an opportunity to wonder aloud with us, which allows them to get to know themselves a lot better. And then empathy is letting them feel that what they're experiencing, that you can understand it, that it makes sense to you why they would feel that way. And that gives a child a very deep sense of like, oh, okay, somebody gets me, now I can calm down and finally get to work.
DDP came as part of a whole process where we were moving to a more attachment-based theory of working with the children. And the development of that program was from 1998 to 2002, approximately there. And I was first in 1997 actually trained in a model called TheraPlay. And TheraPlay doesn't involve a lot of speaking and talking and language and processing. It works in a different way. So we're really seeing the need to add another kind of work to our trauma work with the children. And so we brought Dan Hughes here during that time period, actually 3 different times. So late 90s through the early 2002 time, and had him work with our therapists, teach our therapists, observe our milieu, give us ideas, actually even work with some of our children while he was here to help us learn the DDP model. I think that the first thing I would say about that is when we first had training in DDP, it was a fairly new model, a new way of working with kids, and so I don't think quite all the details were worked out of how to transmit this to other people and teach it to other people. It's now become a lot more refined in terms of the training, and so we really felt like we would want to maybe bring somebody back more current, and just like any model, other things have maybe changed a little bit, developed further, and we wanted to be able to kind of bring in like DDP where it is now to help our staff. Well, the wonderful thing about dyadic developmental psychotherapy is it really is just a way of interacting and working with children. So it's not something that you just go to a therapy office and the therapist does. It is a way that we really work with parents in terms of a different way of being with their children, communicating with the children, understanding their behavior. So whether we're working with parents or whether we're working with staff members who are caring for the children in residential care or foster parents or whoever, it puts us all on the same page with that skill set. They're using it a little bit differently in day-to-day life, but it's still that basic skill set and way of understanding the child.
The people who have been in the training have been very engaged and are thirsty for the information. It's very much fitting within the framework of CHADOC and attachment and trauma. I mean, it fits perfectly within the pyramid of the treatment model, and it's a really different way of communicating than what many of the people have studied so far, because it bases, the foundation is not about technique. The foundation is about therapeutic presence. And what that means is really listening to the person without having the idea in mind that I have to change them, teach them, correct them. Yes, you're guiding them, but it is because you're trying to deeply understand what their underlying motive or what they're trying to say is. And so for the people who work at CHADOC, whether they're floor staff or whether they're therapists, this is a very compelling idea that they immediately resonate with. My reaction so far has been that it seems like a really magical place, because I'm all about attachment, and what I've been seeing is that the people who work with the kids are really trying to connect with the kids, and they are looking the kids in the eye, they are putting their hands on their back, they're being playful, they're accompanying the kids in not leaving them alone. And this has kind of been, I guess, my fantasy about what would be a good place for kids with attachment issues. Just that's what I've been seeing here.